We want to do a quick recap of the things that you kind of saw last time.
Sure. I mean, it looks like everybody who's currently in the church seems to be in on assassinating or at the very least deposing the queen tomorrow at high mass. And there are storage rooms full of swords and sequestered military troops, sequestered mercenaries arguing on the upper floors.
And we had ended with y'all had essentially Laura had like rushed into the place full of like everything. Like I made all the money by rushing in and stealing a ton of stuff. Um, but then for everyone else, we can kind of continue where you're at now. Uh, what do people want to do?
I don't want to get stuck down in this room too much. I just knocked out I looted some enginery most recently, but if there's something culture, finance, or politics related in this room, I'd be willing to keep looting. Otherwise, I should probably head down the corridor.
In the one that you're in, do
Mm-hmm.
you have religion?
Nope.
Okay. Um, I just
Is there a religion?
yeah, religion's one of the skills. Heck, I thought it
I mean, I
was.
don't have Arcana.
I don't see religion.
Um,
Culture, maybe?
Yeah, culture, history.
oh yeah, culture. Yeah, culture, history. Will kind of do for that. What did you say you had again?
I've got culture.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do some stealing with culture,
All right.
you'll have a
Um,
times 30 on that one.
okay. It's not amazing, but I can take the opportunity. Well, I've certainly there's a guy unconscious on the bed, so I'm not worried about suspicion. So I'll just play my hand.
The only possible with suspicion could also be like the amount of noise something takes. And suspicion
Mm.
will both be like what's like someone comes and like, hey, that giant mural painting is gone, but it's also like the noise it takes to take it down. So if there's someone nearby, they might be able to. So
Okay,
that
so I'll play six across two cards.
okay.
So time 30. That means apparently I can't maths today.
That's what 180 per.
180.
That correct? That feels correct, but it also feels not. Yeah, 6 times 30, 180. And how many dots of culture or checks of culture do you have?
Oh, two. So 360.
Yep. That's how you get the big money.
So
Oh, I think your thunderstorm is reaching. I'm
Oh,
hearing the
nice.
wind.
It's dying down here, so. Where's the internet?
Right. What about you have either Twylla or Samantha?
Have I looted the room I'm in? Did you take notes on that?
I do not believe you did.
Okay. Um, then I think I might want to do that. So I can just recall all of the ones that are out right now, right? Is there a
Yeah. If you want to throw them, yeah, if you want to throw them in the discard.
And should I be at 4 or 5 right now?
5 in here.
Okay, and that's with not counting my +1 for my king of.
Yeah, the 6. As long as that's not in your discard. It has to be either in your deck or your hand.
All right.
All right. While he's figuring that out, what are you doing?
I want to try to go back out into the main hall, I think.
Okay.
So, do I need to make a play? Are there any guards?
There might be. Go ahead and make a play because you're quite sure.
Okay, what is the stealth level?
6 right now in the hall.
6?
Very dark.
Okay. 5, and then how do I, let's see, there we go. Okay. 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 So.
Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. I just took 2 jokers from you, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, you shouldn't recall your stuff unless you've gotten all the way through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got all the way through.
I had no more cards, but when I hit it, I didn't realize it would take my jokers away.
Oh, I had 4 jokers.
Yeah, 2 of them were mine.
Okay, I wish I could drop text on it. I don't think there's a way to. Fine, so we'll just have to remember that I've got 2 your jokers.
So there,
All right.
I'll give you 2 checker pieces.
Yeah, and Paul, if you draw a joker, you should just throw it on the table and draw another one.
Yeah.
Okay, I played a 5 and 1 card down to decrease suspicion.
All right, that will work. I will say, as so you're going back out towards this area.
Okay.
As you do so, you actually see down the hall a guard making his way up the hallway.
Boo.
Yeah, he does not see or hear you.
Is that what this is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but you will be able to kind of pop out into the.
Oh,
Hey.
when he gets to the vault room, things are going to get incendiary.
Oh wait, is this guy still here? No.
No, he's not directly there. He's still kind of walking that hallway.
Okay.
The illusion from like over here, didn't I?
No, I mean he's been kind of like just popping back and forth.
Okay.
I used to think those those sort of like just walking in that thing was kind of bullshit until I was someplace ready to sit for a while, and I watched a security guard do exactly that. Just like keep walking the same path. I'm like, oh, video games may have gotten it right. Okay, so Paul, how much did you put down for Steven?
Well, I was thinking, depending on what I can get, that I was going to lead off with that. But that also lets me play up to 2 other cards. What kind of like skilly stuff am I looking at in this room?
It's a priest's. It's one of the higher, not the high priest, but one of the higher priests' rooms. So you have a bunch of books, like I said, the Arcana and such. There's a lot of sort of forbidden tomes in there, as well as stuff that's important to the church. If you use your Arcana,
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. And do I need to worry about the limit?
Just because if you have too much, it can make noise. It could be heard elsewhere, and it also means it takes up more space in your. You can also place cards from your hand face down to reduce the not the amount of time space in your pack, but you can.
So, would that be 2 spaces in the pack or 3?
So that would still be 2 spaces in the pack, but it would only count as 1 card as far as the space.
Okay, cool. I'll do that then. So that would be 11 times something.
Oh, on that one, 11 times 40, and how many checks do you have?
2.
2. So you double that. 880. I think these are all easy bits of math that I'm still.
So I'd like to work my way down to this doorway.
Okay.
So the doorway of the next room in this micro corridor.
Okay. So you want to make a play for that to see about as far as suspicion and stuff goes. And Laura, where you
Sure.
going?
What's this? Yeah.
Oh, stealth level in the hall is 6. These are those like those long halls, essentially lit by light, but some lights you can see coming from the far ends.
5 points. 5 points on 2 cards, -1 suspicion.
Okay. You're heading towards there, and Lara, where are you going?
I think I want to try to see what's in this room over here.
I would go,
but not actually enter.
Yeah, I would say I would go ahead and make your play.
Okay.
And Paul?
I think. I guess I just kind of have to go out into this area then, huh?
All right, so you're gonna want to go ahead and make your play, knowing there is a guard in. Actually, there's one. Actually, this is something I forgot. If you don't want to make a play, if you don't want to play cards, what you can do is go. I'm gonna count the stealth level, and it's a stealth level you're leaving from. And what happens is they make a roll, and if it equals the amount of cards in your, or if it's equals the amount of cards in your hand, they are suspicious and they're gonna start looking. If it's below that, then it's going to be they don't really.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna just be stealthy.
Now, since the room you're coming from, you had a 6 in there. Like the most you can do is kind of you managed to kind of pop out of the door, and you're sort of the shadows are hiding you. And I guess the same thing for Lara. You want to make a play there, or do you just want to count on the? Because there you have a little bit more light, I believe.
So when you say roll, that's literally roll. Okay.
Yeah, because like the only time dice are rolled are on my end. Yeah, so here in this corridor, you've got about a 4. But where you're at right now, you've got the.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm playing 8.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I can do math.
Problem. Yeah, you can move yourself up. So
Cool.
Here's what everyone's gonna kind of notice. And Paul, are you moving like up further in this corridor, or just outside the door? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
back out.
I think was Twylla going to look in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that roll you make can get you over there. So a couple things. First, we'll start Dominik. Dominik, you are outside of a door. Of like the door itself is really the kind of thing that people who happen to come down this tiny ass corridor, it at least looks impressive. However, you are hearing further down the hall. Can you see this in the darkness?
Yes.
Yeah, you are hearing heated conversation coming somewhere over there. And I was saying, these ones, there are doors here. They're not going. Or actually, wait a minute. Did I put the? Let me go back to. Yeah, there are actually doors there. I just didn't put the actual on there. Yeah, so you are outside that door. You hear heated conversation coming from the other part of it. Twylla, you look in here. What you see in this position is there's like a servant there's an acolyte rather comes to do up. There's some cleaning, but the one you were in before was sort of like the high priest's personal prayer room, and where like some of the really kind of huge stuff was kept. Here, this is not quite as nice. It is incredibly ornate. It's got beautiful like hand scribed tomes and gold all over the place.
Twyla's making out like a bandit. Twyla is a bandit.
Yeah, the party's like, listen, we gotta share some loot too.
That's cute.
Now, our goal here isn't just the steal stuff, aren't we? For some specific information.
Yeah.
However,
So
you can do both.
Oh yeah.
So point of order. Do you remember how at the beginning of last session I went, whoops, I thought I put the Joker back on top. I don't know why I didn't just draw the Joker. That's really weird. My Joker has vanished.
Huh?
That was a thing that happened early last session.
Mm-hmm.
I've now made it all the way through my deck, and I only have one Joker.
Oh, okay. They made a mistake when I put the deck together. So for now, we'll consider that.
Or I made a Joker, or I evaporated Joker into space last session somehow.
So it might be
or somebody else has 3 Jokers.
When you hit recall, when you hit recall and shuffle, that might pull.
I might have 3. I might have 3 Jokers. I think I came across 3 Jokers.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Is it possible for us to each have different like card back? Whose Joker is who?
I mean, I probably should draw a Joker into my hand.
No, because I can only put the front.
Twylla, is this the extra Joker? All right.
Yep. Let me check. I think with the playing card site, I think I can only put the front, because there actually was a much prettier back to these ones than what's there. So I think I can just change. Yeah, because like with the decks, card deck. Yeah, I can't actually change what's on the back. I'd like to, because I thought those ones were fairly boring, and I thought the other ones, the cards I found had a much.
Also, if you, I just realized that if you've played Jokers onto the table, if you have to shuffle your deck, you can take the Jokers into your hand, shuffle the deck, and then put the Jokers back on the table.
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right.
Oh, and that should be. All right, so I can't remember. Did we go through what everyone was doing on this turn? Yes. So this next turn.
I'm gonna saunter down to the sound of voices and trust on the darkness in this space and the heated argument to mask my footsteps.
Yep, you have got your 6 cards in your hand. Oh.
Seriously, dude.
Okay, so as you're kind of walking along,
the dice hate my hubris.
You dare rely on the darkness?
Hello?
Hello?
Anyone there?
Anyone there?
If you want to move
What the
yourself
hell?
down to the corner,
What was that?
I grabbed. It seems to double up, but I grabbed some sound files from the.
Oh, okay.
Did it play it twice for everybody? Kind of layered on top of.
Maybe a slight.
That's a shame.
Echo.
I thought it was fun to have like. But it's sort of playing it twice. Like if you happen to walk by a room, you can just kind of hit some of the things while you're moving. Yeah, there's guard kind of like pops his head out of this sort of room. He's, huh? What was that? So he's suspicious, but he hasn't seen anything yet. So you have that moment while you're deciding what to do. What are Twylla and Samantha? Who's a good kitty?
Ended up over in this direction.
All right, are you gonna trust to the darkness, or?
Oh yeah, I have no fear of the darkness. I am the darkness.
All right, you are lucky because you have your extra thing gives you the card. We're good there, and for Twylla.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to move into this room without being seen. What's the stealth level in the room, or where I am at least?
Where you're at, it's the what is it? The 4.
4. Okay.
So Paul, when you come into here, you're gonna end up putting it'll be 5 for you. So, does yours just work for you, or does yours turn the whole area?
I think it. Let's see. It says, when in your hand, you may raise the stealth level by 1 degree in any area you inhabit.
Oh, so while in your hand or deck, so yeah, it'll actually take it to 5. Now, if you want to bring it down, the guard might notice that things are getting a little darker.
Okay.
So do you want to have it go down to up to 5 here for both of you, or do you want to keep it?
What is the +1? That means he just gets a +1 in his roll?
It means he gets +1 suspicion, so he might just kind of notice that things are darker. It doesn't necessarily tee him off entirely. It sort of just means that he's going to be a little more aware.
Oh yeah, I bring the darkness with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll both have you'll both have 5 cards in your hand.
Cheers.
So I just pick one to discard.
Yeah. So Twyla, are you heading in? Are you playing, or you want to use the room?
Yeah, I'm gonna head in. I'm gonna make a play. Um, okay. So I've got 7 and then -1 suspicion.
All right. And how many cards did you play?
2.
Okay. So yeah, just sort of 2. There is a moment you just hear a huh from the guard. He's not quite like activated as such, but he is a little like things got a little weirder in here, which could just be he hasn't quite decided if it's just the fact that he happened to just walk in a place where things are darker because he had just sort of walked in front of a place where light's coming out. Yeah, you can go ahead and move yourself in there. Like I said, you have an acolyte up there that's going through like scrubbing some stuff and perhaps for punishment, just with the amount of resentment you see that they're kind of going with. But you have this wonderful little altar all stuck
I
there.
like altars.
So first, let's go with Dominik. You have got this guard, and it's very dark. Your eyes are much better adjusted than the guards are. You are seeing some light from the guard was in.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring my speed down. I'm gonna bring my speed down and sort of sneak towards the door while keeping to the shadows as much as I can, and just taking my time with it so that I don't trip his sense of movement. So what's suited?
I think for that, why don't we put Spades Finesse? You got to be real quiet.
Okay. And I will also say that the diamonds is suited because I am relying on the fact that this guy is probably not his eyes are not as adjusted to the dark as mine are. So that is That is 10 with -1 suspicion on the play.
Wait, and that's so 2 suspicion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a moment where he just kind of he almost sees something. Is that? And he as he walks down the hall, he kind of goes right past you. And the thing is, these as you notice, these hallways are incredibly narrow. It's a point where as he just kind of comes by, you actually can can kind of the sword just sort of bumps against your leg for a second as he kind of continues walking down. I'm assuming roughly here. He kind of continues walking down the hall, and he sort of takes a look, and then kind of takes a look back for a second. Then he turns the corner, starts walking up. Yeah. Or everybody else. Who wants Raviana? Who wants Telberk? And who wants Raven?
I can take Raviana.
I'll take Daramus. Unless I'm off limits for this one.
No, because you all are listening. That leaves Paul. You'll be Hans Ravenholm. I'm gonna refill my drink while you're going. I can hear you because I got this. You want to read the eavesdrop?
Right.
The evidence is hidden in the crypt with the doves
Why isn't he here?
because they've stolen the Fey coin.
And letters.
Letters, I'm sure you weren't keeping so they could be used as blackmail.
Letters that were here to safeguard my life.
And now they might know.
He's safe.
In Waterstone.
No one's looking for a royal heir in Waterstone.
No, what they're looking for in Waterstone, Cutthroat Alley, no less, is a throat to slit and a purse to rob.
He has guards.
And if he has the money to buy guards, why would he stay there? Every eye will be on him.
Criminals sometimes hide people there.
And everyone will know who he's associated with soon enough. But he's not associated with anyone, is he? Questions will be asked. Hackles will be raised. And enough drink, and they'll...
Wigan.
Kill him. Kill Wigan?
He doesn't know who Reese is. Wait, let me try to start that over. He doesn't know who Reese is. He's just been paid well.
And he owes me a favor.
Wigan will be in charge of the jackdaws.
He will.
He's dangerous. I don't trust him.
For some reason, I'm having trouble putting these together in sentences in my head. Sorry. We hadn't thought we'd need them, but the fake horn are gone now, aren't they? If the crown has them, we're all dead anyway.
I have my own letters, Hans. Letters with members of the nobility.
In your room, where they can be ransacked.
Hidden in the crypt. We have people we can throw the blame on. We, at least, will see the other side of this.
Should we join the generals?
We have a kingdom to take.
Okay, so a couple things that you know. Cutthroat Alley is not the actual name of the street, but it is sort of the colloquial. It is a place where you have a secret gambling den, well, quote-unquote secret gambling den. There's a smuggler's cove, essentially, sort of right underneath it. There is a lockpick who also sells some of the best forbidden weaponry in the city, and there is a fence who has a bakery shop, as well as a... You've heard rumors, but you don't know exactly what happens underneath the One-Eyed Giant, which is a bar that is sort of frequented, and it's right in sort of Jackdaw territory. The thing is, Wigan was kind of one of the higher-ups in the Thieves Guild. So if anyone has betrayed the Jackdaws, Wigan's going to become it. That's pretty clearly who it is. And Wigan actually owns some of the things over at in Jackdaw.
Now, from a pacing perspective,
Wigan's a smuggler.
I know we've got stuff in the crypt that needs to be... We've got evidence in the crypt, which is all the way on the other side of the level. And then we've got this other place we should go to. How do you want to handle the pacing on this?
So we could do a thing where people want to just rob a few. There'll be a few things here that will have to kind of be dealt with. But we can also do like a one plate or one roll to get people to steps, kind of take those down, because there wasn't as much on those lower. And also, I know both Will and Lara had said you're interested in continuing together and still playing some again. Like Paul said, you might be interested
in. You cut out right before you asked me if I was interested in something.
Oh, I just said you said you might be interested in continuing and doing some more Project Dark this summer.
Oh yeah.
So in that case, if we have that, we don't necessarily have to worry about pacing, because we could end up picking up another time.
Pacing is for novelists, not role players.
I will say, as someone with a long form improv background, like pacing is a big thing. A lot of times I try to do. That's why my con games go.
Your con games go so well because you're drunk.
Then what?
Because you're drunk.
That only happens for Dogs in the Vineyard. That's only at the end, because we've been running games for 12 hours by the time that happens. You notice with Dogs in the Vineyard, the last 45 minutes to an hour is always you guys.
Well, yeah, that's usually the one I sit down with you. What's the name of the guy that's also always there? The one that has like the character that's like 5 years older than mine.
Oh my God, I'm blanking. It's Apollyon on the forums. I used to play. We used to play together. online, but it's been a while, and I feel bad. I'm blanking on his. Yeah, he's
I just
got the wise kind of hickish dog. Which yeah, he's fun.
but since we both bring the same dog every time, like we when mine was younger, like they kind of disagreed a lot. But now we both just kind of reached the age of like, fuck it, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Have you two ever played Dogs in the Vineyard?
I keep wanting to, but I have not.
Apparently, my versions are my games are a little unusual in that I've run a number of like 1 to 2 shots like in person and online, and most Fear the Cons. That's the final game on the final night that I run. It's 2 nights of 3 4 hour slots, so I've done like 24 hours of game, 2 days, and I have never had a game of dogs where one of the dogs is committed. A lot of people say is like their problem with it. I'm like, for my whole thing is I love them getting to the point where they have to argue about how to bring punishment down. The fun part is that last hour, I get to sit back after having run games and just watch them do everything.
There was one where we executed someone at the end, but that was like off camera.
It's a different.
We never rolled for violence.
All right. So he listened to that, and what's going on further up with Samantha and Twylla?
I want to see if I can loot anything in this room without drawing too much attention.
Okay. All right. So what you want to do is go ahead and make a roll. All I'm picturing is the camera at the of the opposite end, and you just see the acolyte, and you just kind of see like the acolyte like. Well, depending on what you play.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play my Ace of Diamonds, which is an 11, and then my Queen of Hearts.
And you're also playing one face down?
That was from last time.
Okay, you just want to throw that on your discard.
Okay.
Okay. So, 2 suspicion. Yeah, so there's a point when you kind of go through and you see the servant just kind of take a look and just go, what was that? And then she starts walking in your direction. So she's suspicious right now. She heard something. The thing is, servants tend to know how. Like, servants are a little more aware in certain respects as guards. Their suspicion will be there because they kind of know where places to be. So this is just suspicion. This has not found you. However, you do get to take. What's your total?
So 11 plus 5 is
16.
Yeah.
Good lord, what's your culture?
I think it's got 2 marks in it. Let me double check that though. Culture, yeah, 2 marks.
You have just pulled 1,280 into 2 like those giant books. You kind of manage to kind of grab it, and we'll say it causes 2 suspicions. So like when they come up and see the fact that the books are missing, they're very likely going to notice.
Okay. Now my Queen of Hearts had a little thing. It's move an NPC into an adjacent area, even on a failure, if they're done in vigilance.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to use that,
yeah,
they'll kind of walk out and just like you hear her start talking. You hear something, and it's like, no, it got weird out here. You kind of hear the 2 of them talking. Yeah, so they have moved away, so that acolyte may not notice for a bit. And Samantha.
Guess I'm going to move up into this room.
Okay. Yeah, there is also an acolyte in there, kind of getting things ready. If you want to go ahead and you either want to count on your ability to hide. There's a 4 in here, which means it would be a 5 with your special ability. Or do you want to play, or do you want to count on shadows?
I'm gonna Oh, let me check this a second. So that's not going to go well. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to sneak past her.
Okay. Go ahead and make your play.
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna
Oh,
let her.
so for me to make the roll. All right, so
Yeah.
it's a 4 in there. As you kind of come in, things get a bit darker. Oh, yep. Just kind of keeps on going, and again, there are all these like golden braziers along there. You see, like in front of each one, there are different ancestors, kind of all throughout. Like, and I will say the book that you stole, Twylla, is an accounting of the ancestors of the kings of the Saturnine. Open up to a page where Reese's name was on it. Probably not coincidental. That takes us down to that room. So as you hear that, the door opens up, and they start walking their way out. So
They
Dominik,
sure do.
what do you do?
It's not a very wide corridor. So I think I'm gonna book it around the corner. And my ultimate goal is, I think, to make it to here and duck into the room where I've hidden the priest.
All
but
right.
I know there's a guard down there, so I think this is several moves.
Yeah, it'll be at least 2. One to kind of get around the corner, and then one to get up that hallway. Luckily, it is dark in there.
So I'll make a play for this. What's suited?
You have to be bold here, so we're gonna go with hearts for metal.
And clubs for speed. So this is 9 with 1 less suspicion on the play.
How many cards did you play?
2 up, 1 down.
Okay, yeah, so one
suspicion.
Yeah, you are definitely in that next hallway. As you hear them, as their door opens up, you whip. So you are around the corner. Good lord, yeah, it's coming down hard. Okay, so next round. What y'all doing?
I'll just move up into the next room.
Okay. Are you playing, or you want to trust to the 5 cards in your hand?
Do I? So I have to do it again to or is this one room, or is this 2 rooms?
2 rooms.
Okay. So, but I guess since she can still see me, what's in this room?
You got to really what you can see from the other room is you have there's the statues that are facing, and what looks like even more ornate, you got urns and some other stuff throughout there to the various ancestors. Basically, all the stuff in this area is for the high priest. So the nice thing is, this is where a lot of the big loot is.
All right. Yeah. So I'll see what I can steal from here.
Well, you got to get there first. Do you want to trust to the roll, or do you want to play?
Okay. I guess I thought that I'd already made that.
You got into here. You said you wanted to come up into here.
So last round I chose to trust in this room.
Yeah.
So I thought we moved to the next room and then.
No. That you went from the corridor into here.
Right.
Yeah, she's in there. So if you want to move into here, that's either another play of cards or that's another roll.
Oh, to do the actual move. Okay. Yeah, I'll trust. I'm good.
Oh, a 1. Yeah. Yeah, as you come in and you are seeing there are icons and a whole bunch of other stuff. History and culture and arcana will all be your friend in this room. And Twylla.
You two have the loot bonanza, and I'm dealing with the yakety sacks over here.
This is probably why a lot of times when you go loot, like when you go do stuff, you're like, listen, we're gonna split what people bring in. So if I got to deal with other stuff,
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna try to like just book my way down to this area.
Hmm.
If I can get even farther, great.
Okay. So if you do you want to trust, or do you want to trust to the shadows, or do you want to play? And the same thing with Dominik. Do you want to trust to the shadows, or do you want to play?
How fast
There's
is
no
that
way
guard
to play.
moving?
Not terribly.
Like-
He's not terribly fast. He's a little like the thing is you got 6 in your hands here, so the most he can do is get a suspicious again. That which will not be good. If he rolls a 6, he hasn't seen you, but he's more suspicious than he was a moment ago.
Right. The question I have though is if he doesn't make it to that far door before I do, then I'm going to be opening a door and moving into it in front of him. So I'm starting to wonder if going into this room is a better idea.
You know what? Because in case you want to do a little bit more looting, going in that room will probably be a little bit of a better idea because it'll be.
Yeah, so I'll give that a shot.
Okay.
And I will.
And then Twylla, are you rolling or playing?
Is there anyone in this room that I'm in?
No, but part of it can be if they might hear you outside of it.
Okay. And the stealth level is 5 in here,
Yeah.
or is it 4?
It's 5 in here.
5.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 in here, 5 where you're moving.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, I'll make a play.
Okay.
Um,
And then Dominik, were you playing or gonna trust the roll?
Let's trust the dice. Because that's worked so well for me so far.
All right, he's just kind of wandering up here as you kind of pop into that doorway, right? As they start to come around that corner.
Oh, is that 4 mine?
Yep.
Sweet.
I played a 5 with 1 card.
Oh yeah, you are more than fine.
Cool.
Go ahead and move.
How far up can I go?
Yeah, if you want to go up to here. At this, you do hear like a guard kind of further on as you get up into this area. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna return. Is one of the jokers here yours? You know if one of these are yours?
Probably.
No, this is. I'm sorry. This is for Dominik.
Yes, I have a joker on the table.
You know, I should probably put a thing to put specific jokers. You know where yours is at by per chance?
Yeah, it's in line with my deck.
Oh, okay.
So it's this
Yeah,
one.
take that back. As you kind of like pop in that room, and you hear them go by, and then as they sort of like walk past, you hear Raviana go, "Wait, let me grab something real quick," and opens the door into the room that you're in.
Yep.
So, what is
Yep.
everyone doing?
What's the stealth level in here?
Stealth level in there because there's a fire going in the thing is going to be 4.
We should
Okay.
kidnap her and hold her for ransom.
Hit myself in the face with a bottle cap.
This is Raviana is the high priest.
Yep.
You could just kill her, then you wouldn't have to worry about this whole rebellion, right?
So the problem is my hand is full of clubs, and
Well,
she will be missed.
Beat her with one of them.
She will be missed.
and missed immediately. and unless you're going to try to knock out all 3 of them, which if you were the bruiser thief, that would be a whole lot easier.
Oh,
Okay, so
I meant bruiser.
all right. I am going to try and find the place in the room she's not going to go and become a bedroll.
Yeah, honestly, your probably best bet is going to end up being, oops, let me take. Is going to be actually in here because it's actually a 6 in there. That's dark. The bedroom.
Okay.
And it's got a doorway up there. Like there's a little bit of light kind of popping in, but not much. So, yeah, if you want.
So I book it straight in there.
All right. So you're gonna make a roll, or are you gonna play?
I'll play. What is suited?
Speed's gonna be of the essence. So let's go with spades.
Okay, and I will say that. Diamonds is suited because I'm also trying to. Well, hearts is suited because I'm trying to gauge where she's going.
Okay, sounds good.
And make sure I'm not in that line of sight.
So Dominik's making that play. What are Twylla and Samantha doing?
I'm looting my room.
All right, go ahead. And remember, you do have someone up there, so you can put some cards face down to reduce the suspicion. And for Twylla?
So is this the only doorway over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna slowly creep over there and maybe peek out, see if there's anybody I need to be avoiding.
Okay, yeah, so in that one you can kind of hear a guard, and we'll say he just kind of like wanders. Okay. Yeah, there's a guard in that next room, who seems kind of bored and just sort of wandering among that part of the thing.
Alright. Let's see.
Damn, what's your total, Dominik?
10 with -1 suspicion on the play.
Yeah. You either hidden. Do you want to like go? You want to head into the bedroom there, or you just want to stay somewhere in the room while she's looking around?
The bedroom, because 6 stealth is delicious.
Yep. Pop yourself in there. She kind of pops in, and you hear her kind of go over here and start messing with stuff. So she'll be there at least a turn if you want to end up like. This is when you could loot because this is the private bedroom of a higher priest. Though suspicion could be. Paul, what'd you play? What's your total?
10 with 1 down.
All right, what is your Arcana?
I got Arcana 2, Culture 2, and History 1. I think those were the 3 you said were important in this room.
Yeah, so if you want to go, so Culture, the room that you're in, there are a couple really like a couple of the ancient ancestors that like everyone claims that they were a part of, kind of like white Americans claiming to have Native American princesses in the background. There's a few like that are ones that almost everyone claims to. There are a couple of the holy relics because this is essentially the Vatican of the church. So yeah, like as you go through, and these things are gonna be worth a ton. So it's a total of 600. If you want to put like holy icons. All right, next turn. What's everyone doing?
Oh, I had 7 over 2 cards to go into that room.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, as the guards started walking, he started going through. You managed to sneak in. Don't worry about exactly where the guard is. Like he's in that area, but it's one of those places where there's like a little bit of light from like smoldering embers in the brazier here. Most of the rest of it's dark enough that you can kind of move around. You have to worry a little bit about suspicion. But it's not like he's got clear line of sight because it's dark in that area. We'll say here it's a 4.
Where are the stairs?
You from guessing from the stuff you know about like how this stuff is set up, it'll be probably there's a decent chance there's one either to your left or to your right, or possibly both. Because at least in sort of like the middle of the thing, there are stairs on both the left and the right.
Okay.
All right, so this next turn, what's everyone doing?
So when I draw, I can pull from the top of my discard, right? Is that, I thought something you mentioned?
That's that's only if you draw, because no, you don't drop from the top of your discard. What you do is when you discard cards, because the stealth level changes, those go on top of your deck, not your.
Oh, so that one I discarded earlier should really have gone into my deck.
Yeah,
Okay.
that basically goes on top of your deck. So if you're in like stealth level 6 and you move into stealth level 4, you choose 2 of your cards to place back on top, so that those will be the next ones you pull.
I must have shuffled before then. Okay. All right.
So what's worth? What looks worth stealing in this dark bedroom?
Yeah, if you sort of look through the bedroom, I mean, this is one of the high priest's private room. I think you went in, you did notice there was another like bed and such in there. Um, but here, there's a chest there that if you want to kind of go through it, you would be able to find any number of sort of religious and other levels. What is your finance?
2 dots in finance.
You actually go through, and there are some financial books that maybe don't want to be found by people who aren't the high priest and the couple people around them.
That is hilarious. This is 11 with -1 suspicion on the play on 2 cards.
Yeah, you kind of go through and you pull some of the doctored books from the church. 660 gold worth of.
Mm-hmm.
That'll take up what, 2 slots in your pack?
So that was times 60 or times 30?
Times 30. You had 2 in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, then doubling it. Yeah, so 330. Your second one made it 600. 660. All right. He's stolen there while Raviana is pulling something out of a desk in that room. And what about... Oh.
I guess I need to head back. I only have one exit, so I guess I'll go back in here and trust the darkness.
Okay. Yeah, you especially with your bonus, you managed to go through. And for Twylla?
I think I'm gonna veer left and try to go over here and find some stairs.
You want to trust to the 4 cards you have in your hand, or do you want to make a play?
I'll make a play. Yeah, I think that's all I want to do right now.
The only thing to keep in mind is he seems relatively bored because there's no reason for them to be suspicious. Like, the nice thing about being a thief in this one is most of the times they don't really have a reason to be alert. So most guards are going to tend towards the lazy, particularly if they're in a place. Once people have been alerted, stuff becomes a whole lot more difficult. So you've usually got like a passive, which is like an alertness of.
Okay.
And then after that, it'll depend on his 2 or 3 awareness.
Okay, yeah, so I played a 4. And I like my cards, so I don't want to play them.
If it's just a 4, that you as a professional thief, you'll know in someone who's idle or relaxed, who's kind of working but not like paying a ton of attention. They have a 4 before you add in their stat for usually guile. How much you're paying attention? Usually 2 or 3.
Okay. So with that, I will. I guess I'll play one of my jacks. My mouse has frozen up on my screen, so I'm playing a jack.
Does your jack have any other special abilities?
No, it does not.
Okay. Yeah, so that gives you a 9.
Okay.
With 2 suspicion.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so as you kind of walk through, if you want to move yourself in the next room, you do hear the guard go, that. Your turn. You'll be in this room.
All right.
And by the way, you chose the right one because there are stairs in that. Or not stairs. I'll go ahead and move. I'll go ahead and.
I
Is it still frozen?
yeah, I might have to sign out and then come back in because it's not doing anything.
As you're doing that, is everyone else? Are you trying to vacate this level, or are you still trying to steal?
I'm waiting for Raviana to vacate her room, and then I'm going to loot her outer chambers.
Okay.
And then find the others.
Yeah. So she heads out. And so with Samantha and Twylla, are you both looking to vacate or to?
I was looking to try to find the others and kind of see what they wanted to do since I'm really here for support.
We'll probably do is we might have like Dominik go ahead and steal stuff, and then we could probably just do a thing where we kind of make one play, get everyone to like head to essentially meet up on like lower floor.
Any of culture, engine, refinance?
Culture is going to be huge in here because you are, like I said, this is a priest's room with all sorts of like religious.
Okay. So I will loot on culture, and I will. That's 20 on 3 cards.
Um,
How
much culture do you have?
And then 2 dots in culture.
Wait, 1,400, and you have cleared this place out. You actually managed to pull in, like, there are a couple like kind of like books and relics and other things. So from it, you managed to pull like there's some artwork that is some pretty expensive stuff that you managed to pull out. There's also some other religious icons and stuff that you managed to grab. And this will be technically from in here, in that room. So yeah, you have cleared it out. You have 1,400.
Okay.
How many did you use?
3 cards.
3 cards.
And then -1 suspicion.
Yeah, so it takes up 3 slots. How many slots does everyone have available?
This fills my non-hall slots, and I have 4 slots left.
Yeah, that's nice about having a bunch of hall.
And listen to him whining about not getting enough loot.
Yeah, I can stop whining now.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's probably a good idea to be like, okay, we split at the end, like 3 ways, because sometimes one person's going to just luck out and here's a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, I was actually, before I knew it was tied to advancement, I was actually going to donate most of what I got anyway to their cause. So
Advancement, though.
yeah, well, I didn't realize it was just advancement. I thought like maybe you could put some of that money towards buying favors or equipment.
I played with Trump Troop. And like they were interested in, they were totally up for that part of it. Nikki, you are now connected as Nikki.
So what was the modifier on there, by the way? on the culture?
Oh, that was what, 35?
35? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you're in like the high priest chamber stuff. You're gonna have like this floor is a treasure trove of stuff.
Man, this
Have a Joker, by the way.
this town would be ripe for the ministry, man. Fuck the jackdaws. We could take this town.
Well, the funny thing is Blades in the Dark makes you able to like take people on physically. This game kind of goes, that's maybe not the way, unless you're ambushing. So do we want to end up fast forwarding a little bit to get everybody together on a lower floor?
Sure.
With like say a play from like Twyla's at a point where you can just kind of like hop down those steps and probably be fine. Yeah, or unless you want to steal some more stuff from this floor for Dominik and Samantha, if you want, we can just make a roll and then put everybody down on floor 2 or 1, or even ground floor.
Has some stuff too, right?
What?
The crypt has some stuff too.
Very likely. At the very least, you've got the papers down there.
Unless the crypt is on the top floor.
That's not what the blueprint said. Laura, you're pretty quiet.
I'm happy to go. I think I'm heading down to the crypt. I've had a pretty good loot.
All right. If Laura's happy, I'm happy. Wait, who's Nikki? Is your real name Nikki?
No, that's my little sister. Zoom signed me in under her.
Oh.
Yeah, I just want to say, Laura, your volume's a little bit low.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had this problem with Zoom with the other game in that there's an option where you allow Zoom to keep like automatically adjust your microphone settings, and that kept happening to me.
Oh, you know what's so weird? I don't think that's happened here. Either that or you keep remembering to change.
I told Zoom to knock it off.
Yeah, because every Blades in the Dark game at the very beginning we have to go. It's like
Yeah. So then when I figured that out, because I use Zoom at work, they had given me a Mac. So on Mac, I just figured out how to have the operating system deny permission to Zoom, so I didn't have to worry about it. But for this, I'm doing it on my Windows machine, and I just had to tell Zoom to stop trying to do it.
Also, I'm going to show you this real quick because I'm proud of my friend. I just having to check it. This is my friend's current Drag King persona.
Wow.
That is.
Oh,
it still spanks nightly, but they've done some. Holy shit! Eyes there.
Our drag club just shut down like a couple of days ago. Closed its doors for good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They haven't actually performed in a while, but they've been doing shows on Instagram.
They were one of the sponsors, so I'm involved in the roller derby league around here, and they were one of our main sponsors. So we're gonna have to like find another venue for all our shit.
All right, so if we want to meet on a different floor, if we just have everyone who's not Lara can take the steps down. Pretty easy. You want to go to first, like ground floor, first floor, second floor?
I want to get as close to the crypt as I can, so as low as I can go.
Ground floor?
Ground floor.
Okay. So what we can do is, if everyone wants to just make, and actually for Lara, you'll also, if everyone wants to make we'll say you want at least 7. A little bit further. You can slow play if you want. But that'll get you all down together on the ground floor.
What's suited?
Definitely, let's say, because you want to be relatively quiet, let's go with spades.
Okay. And I'm going to say that I feel like I want to say hearts is suited because I'm trying to read the nature of the people of the people who are moving around. and try and avoid the big points of noise and discussion.
And I'm going to say diamonds for me, just because I'm trying to be smart about this by taking the stairs.
You should say hearts is suited because you really, really want this to work out.
There is that. I don't want to die.
I hope I get it.
Since I'm close to the exit, could I just say that you just roll a couple d6 to see if I'm spotted on the way out?
I can do that. I can roll twice. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm 2 steps away.
Oh!
Fucking fuck!
Yeah, so we'll have the other people play, and then we'll kind of determine while someone does kind of see.
All right, well, the regal mage, I mean, I am nobility, so I am kind of lazy, and now that has bitten me in the ass, so... All right, can I just threaten her?
Well, let's let me move your character a bit.
To jail?
Which one are you? Are you the black and white?
I'm the sepia-ish.
Okay.
The ninja-looking one.
The other ones kind of head down those steps. Well, you on your way down, actually. You come across you basically come around the corner, face to face, with one of the guards as you're making now. Considering where everyone was at, Twyla's probably already all the way down, and you're not terribly far behind. And we have, and this is if you look at sort of bottom left.
Is this one of the drunk guys from the earlier one?
Yes, it is. As he kind of comes, he goes, "Huh."
You remember I went downstairs, after we read that, I said I go back down and grab a couple of bottles of wine from the closet downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually why I did that, because I pull out the bottle of wine, and I think since it was a week ago for me, but only like 20 minutes ago for my character, I would hopefully remember one of those names and go like, oh, Gregor was in this room a moment ago. He asked me to fetch him some wine.
That would actually be Nepalis.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the eavesdrops. Yeah, so the funny thing is the way it's going, I'm going to guess we're probably in a place where Twyla, you hear it above you, and Dominik, you hear it below you as you're coming down the steps.
I go like, where the hell did Paulus go? He told me to get him this wine, and then he fucking stumbled off somewhere.
Okay, so now what you have to do is so you're also carrying stuff with you. Look very suspicious. You have to make a play. And this is bold as hell. So
if anything were hearts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hearts for metal.
Dude, no, this is not gonna go well at all.
Yeah, I was also remember depending on what you have in your hand. Look at your special abilities because you actually have some powers. You have some spells that can help you if you have those cards.
No, I use those cards for my last loot drop. I have 3-2, 5-2, and then my King of Diamonds.
Not good.
What's the stealth level in the stairway?
But as he comes into that room, stealth level there is going to be it's going to be a 4, but I think you probably brought it up to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your thing.
And
so
what's my stealth level?
In the stairwell itself is going to be 6.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I can is there a limit to the number of cards I can play for this?
It's just the more cards you play, the louder it is, the more it might actually grab someone else's.
All right, well, I'm not being quiet because I'm already seeing...
Well, wait. Well, actually, there is another limit. I said hearts. You choose another one. As long as you don't play something that's not suited. So, I'm using hearts for metal. What else do you want to play? Is this like... diamonds for guile? Are you using spades?
Yeah, it's diamonds for guile.
Okay.
Because
so as long as you're playing a heart or a diamond, you can keep playing cards.
And then does playing anything face down help me out here?
It can give +1 lie believed, but the problem is you have to overcome. So the way this goes, he is now alert because you just popped in here and you don't look like an acolyte. You do not have a disguise plate.
I have a bottle of wine for Lothar. What's
Yeah.
his name?
But the thing is, this means he's active, which he's alert, which gives him alertness of 5. And then he has probably a 2 or a 3 for guile. So your ability to sort of trick him here, you're probably looking at a 7 or 8 total. Got a 5 out there. 10.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3. Now, if you place some face down, what'll do is it'll reduce. You could reduce suspicion, so it's not quite as loud. Right now, you put suspicion 3. Suspicion 3, for a lot of times, if other guards are nearby, gets their attention. 2
Right.
often doesn't.
So if I bring it down to 1.
Oh yeah, then it's fairly quiet. Which means even if someone's nearby and kind of listening, they're not going to hear. Yeah, so he just looks. And Nepalis looks and goes, who did you say again?
I don't remember the name.
Oh yeah.
But
So probably would have been the other guard that they were drinking with. So I will pop this back up. Prasanna.
Okay.
He goes. Prasanna told you to get another bit of wine.
She did. I got 2 because I figured you guys would be sending me back downstairs anyway. So
Don't look like one.
I'm one of the servants.
Thought they sent all of those people home. Kind of takes the wine.
I was on my way home and I was asked for some wine, so I thought I would do you guys that solid since you're protecting everything up here before I went home for the night.
Oh, she must have seen you after Tian told us to stop drinking.
Oh, so should I take these bottles back down?
No. Kind of grabs the bottle from you. Now I said, was the bottle put as one of your loot?
I didn't. I just said that I grab a couple bottles. I didn't. I mean, I have space if you want me to take up a couple loot.
Well, no, because the thing is, since you didn't actually pull it as loot, the stuff you pulled wasn't worth enough. It would be like pulling. I'm not a wine drinker, so I don't know what really the yellowtail wine.
Yeah.
It's like that's not a wine that's worth a whole lot. Yeah,
I think this is the stage where they spent the early evening drinking their craft beers, and I'm handing them a PBR, and they're going like, "Oh, man from heaven."
I'm not a wine drinker, but I did stand up at a winery, and I didn't know that most people don't just go up there with a whole bottle. Because when I asked for how much is a glass, they're like, "Well, a glass is $6." How much is a bottle? They're like, 14. I'm like, there's more than 2 glasses in a bottle. I'll just buy the bottle. So I had one of the guys I did stuff with. He's like, I know you, because I had a joke where I actually have to take a huge drink. If I usually have whiskey and Coke and I finish it, which often gets me applause, and then I get the punchline, which usually almost always does really well, except at one place where it did not. I was like, fuck. I just had the huge bottle of wine, and one of my friends was like, people don't usually just have a bottle. Like, they should have real liquor then.
And then did you spit it on the floor and say, "That's how we taste wine in France, motherfuckers"?
I was just like, nope, I'm just gonna just drink a bit. Like, it was weird holding it because I'm just used to small tumblers where I can just have it and not in the way. The wine bottle's in the way.
Well, sir, if you want me to take these 2 back down to the pantry, if you're
no, 2.
Well,
I figured both of them.
One for her, and I figured you guys would want another one anyway, and I was going to be going home, so.
And he kind of digs in his pockets and pulls out a gold piece, and goes, "Oh, thank you.
You're most generous, sir. Thank you."
All right, I'll drink. What was your total? Was what, 10?
Yeah.
He goes, "I have some of this before."
Your secret is safe with me, sir.
Okay. And then he kind of walks over to the hall, kind of pokes his head out, and you see him go down this hallway, probably to the room right above you. Okay. That means you can go back down and meet everybody else, and then of course Dominik will be able to come down.
Dominik is about to have an aneurysm.
Now you're glad you brought me along.
Now, whether you know, the entrance to the crypts is up by the front.
Up as in north by the front,
or? Yep, up by the entrance.
Yep. And let us assume that I have signaled via Thieves' Cant that there is tactical loot in the crypt, and there is a person of interest in Cutthroat Alley.
You know, I'll say as you get down there, if you want to let them know or tell, you'll be able to quietly talk.
The relevant information about the primary goal on this level and the location of next level and who needs to be kicked out of the Jackdaws has been communicated.
And I will say this one. I want to do one eavesdrop because there's actually some information that'll be here in a moment. And then if we're cool, take a quick bio break.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your retirement plan on the Jackdaws? Is that like a red necktie or throat slitting?
We have Andrea, Altea, and Farapont. These are the people in the storage room that is directly south of the room.
The Queen? Not us.
But Andrea goes first.
I thought that was just the list.
Do you think we'll be close enough to get a good look at her?
The Queen? Not us.
I'm sure she meets the priests.
I wasn't here for the High Mass last year.
I was an acolyte, shoved way in the back, though.
I don't think it's right.
What's not?
She's not of royal blood.
Her father was the king, you idiot.
Her mother was common.
Who married a king?
Right. Reese should have been on the throne.
Queen Eleanor is handling it.
Think of all the troubles. The famine 2 summers ago, wars, the raids in the city now.
That always happens.
Not like this.
How is it different?
The ancestors don't approve.
Oh, bullshit.
I've heard the Jenny of the church in the crypts. I've heard it. It used to be silent.
She's been queen for 10 years, you idiot. I think the Jenny would have spoken up by now.
I heard it.
Now, I will say Samantha in particular is where the Jenny is a spirit of a building and of a place. And they're fairly common. There are a bunch of places, and Jennies will sometimes have some rather specific opinions about the people that inhabit it. The thing is, the Jennies and the Church of the Ancestors do not tend to get along. And most Church of the Ancestors actually have rituals and stuff that try to trap the Jenny and keep it from manifesting. They're hearing it in the crypt. It might be getting close to the point where those rituals have to be redone, and you do know that an enemy to the church is often a friend to a Jenny.
Release the Jenny.
And like Generid, I believe, is the actual name of what it's called. People just call them Jenny for short.
We can just offer some holy relics and say, hey, look what we stole from your church. You want some of this?
All right, do you want to take about a 5-minute break and then come back to...
All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
2 cats and 2 potbelly pigs.
Oh, I forgot you had pigs. I think I knew that. It's been a while since I've seen. What's it like having pigs in the house?
What's that?
What's it like having pigs in the house?
It's not much different than having cats or dogs. It's a little dustier because they do like to roll around in the dirt outside.
What kind of pigs?
Potbelly.
When I had my last roommate, who I lived with for like 5 years, literally the first day I moved in, I heard outside my door just like it went on so long I thought my roommate was punking me. So I opened the door and the cat walked into my room. I'm like, okay, cool. I went to bed and like 5 minutes later it was at my door again. I used to chase that cat into the back room and close the door because it would wake me up at all hours of the night.
Sounds about right.
Right. Have the group together again.
Minus a couple bottles of wine. Sorry, guys.
Hey, you work with what you got. And when what you've got is getting them completely hammered, it checks out.
I think I did a good deed. Helped a couple of guards hold the night before they get fired.
And or arrested and or hung.
All right, so what do you do?
I think I'm going to continue my way towards the crypts. I think I'm going to try to peek out of the stairwell way place and try to make my way this way.
All right, I assume everyone's doing that?
Yeah.
It's a 6 in there. Do you want to make this a group roll? Or do you want to play?
In the interest of pacing, let's trust the dice.
Yeah.
Are you?
That is 3 6s in a row. If I'm creating a D&D character, I'm happy.
I meant to say I grab a couple more bottles of wine from the factory.
Yeah, as you go there, you hear from in here. Oh. What was that?
From in where?
From in this room. You hear kind of a, what was that? And an acolyte starts to make his way sort of towards the door. What is everyone?
I'm going to bolt down the hallway.
Are you going to play or trust again?
I'm going to play.
What's the stealth level here? I got to draw back.
It is 6 in the hallway.
And that's my max, right?
Yep.
What's suited?
No, actually, no, I'm sorry. You hear the but as he looks out, actually don't worry about that because Paul's special ability, that's not in his discard, means that it's impenetrable. Like, he actually kind of comes to the door and looks through, and it's dark enough that, like, you should be seen. And as it's this weird thing where you can see through it because Paul's essentially Samantha's essentially made it so that is, things have gotten darker, but you yourself are not affected by it. And you look through, and he looks like straight at you. There's a part of you that then he sort of like turns and looks.
Oh, so basically, until I play my next action, that's still in effect?
Yeah, so while you're in a 6, it becomes darkness becomes impenetrable. So he's looking, he can't see shit in that hall. So you actually, like, if you're moving, as I recall, because when I took a look at it earlier, for you,
Oh, but I was asking that.
Stealth level 6, no light can penetrate. It's he's suspicious But he can actually hear stuff though, so you can either like once again if he rolls a 6, he's going to hear enough that might spook him, or you can play. But he definitely doesn't see. Right now, it's a thing about being heard, or if he happens to walk in your direction.
Wizards.
I really got nothing helpful, so
Yeah. So do you want to trust to a die roll, or do you want to play?
I'm going to have to trust to the die roll.
And what's the likelihood of 4 6s in a row?
Oh, you said that.
Well, here's technically it's the exact same as the other 6s I roll.
Technically, maybe. Yeah,
Unless we're in a
but
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead kind of location.
What, you're some
I
kind
think,
of
yeah.
science, you're some kind of liberal science lover?
Yeah. Gotcha, punk.
So,
I literally
let's
had
see
that.
Let's see that die roll.
I had that argument today. Okay. Yeah, as he comes out and starts seeing that darkness, he actually heads the other way. And we'll say at this point, y'all are sort of where he's at. As he goes, he starts walking down this way. You kind of see a guard down further. Where do you go?
Oh, those are where the stairs are. I was staring at the fog of war, going, "Where are the stairs in this thing?"
I can just see what's a little bit dimmer that you can currently. I haven't seen what's already been on.
Yeah, the stairs were just a dream. They never existed.
Let's not get caught.
Yeah, I second that motion.
If someone wants to ping where you want to go. All right. You want to trust the roll? Heard, or do you want to play?
We got this.
Let's roll it.
All right. I'm going to just take a picture real quick of just those 6s. Because I love when because like there's a part of you going, it's not going to come up. It can't. And you're like, no, it's roll 20 is screwing me. That's what roll 20 is doing. Roll 20. All right, we're
Okay.
safe. You want to move yourself up to this area. As you come in, this part is just like a fairly plain area that like the commoners can come to pray and such, and there are steps leading down to the crypt. Just on the other side.
You guys are commoners. That should be safe there.
I'm assuming you go down the steps.
We're very uncommon commoners. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's take the stairs.
I am now thinking of the William Shatner version of common people. I don't know if you've heard that, but like, you also should look up Ben Folds did an entire album with William Shatner, and it's kind of amazing.
Obsession with Ben Folds today.
Oh, it's also got he does a duet with Henry Rollins.
Yeah, but what's your obsession with Ben Folds today?
No, it just yeah. I put on Facebook. There's a picture from Westworld that kind of looks like Ben Folds, like Ben Folds and Jesse Pinkman. Like, wait, is Ben Folds in Westworld?
Did you see the comment I left on that?
I think I did, but I didn't get a chance to look.
I said it was an older version. It was Ben Folds 3, not number 5.
Oh.
I was
By the way,
proud of that.
if you ever have a chance to see Ben Folds, I saw Robin Williams one night and I saw him the next, and I have a hard time telling you who was. Wait, the thing down here is it doesn't seem like there's anybody down here. So the question is, do you want to try to be stealthy, or do you want to sort of walk through?
I think for us, they're one and the same.
I think I'm still going to be cautious. I mean, maybe not nearly as, but
it is a 6 down here too. You don't have like candles lit or anything because nobody's been down.
Die rolls probably.
All right.
yeah.
So, if you want to do me a favor, if you just want to move your people down here, as you're sort of heading through, as you get to this sort of central chamber, you can kind of see up where it leads to some rooms with like tons of crypts such in there. And from this area, basically to the left or to the west, there's this sort of greenish glow that appears there.
I look pointedly at Samantha.
And the voice almost passes from there. You hear like almost something like wisps by all of your ears. And then the voice is suddenly on the opposite side of you.
Jenny, we just seek safe passage.
There's a moment. What? Who are and what appears in front of you? It's like sort of a female form. It's a little hard to see because it's sort of barely visible. It's still being held back from completely entering this world. Like the and this is one of those things that only Samantha is really going to be able to appreciate. The spells and rituals they had to use to actually hold Jenny back are not parts of the very few magics that are considered very few magics and prayers that are considered okay for the church. The church to do this had to go to some of the religions that they acknowledge exist, but they look way the hell down on.
Did you ever read the I can't remember the name of the series, but it was like the Diamond Knight, the Diamond Throne, the Ruby Knight, Sapphire Rose. It was an Eddings trilogy.
When I was young, I read a bunch of Eddings.
Yeah, it was kind of a similar thing where it was a religion based on like the medieval Catholic Church, but the Church Knights were actually.
Oh yeah, that was the Millennium.
Yeah, Millennium. Yeah,
I definitely did read those two series. I remember little about them, but I did read. Yeah, so yeah, and all of you sort of see this form, difficult to kind of pick out, but sort of appearing there in the air, like in.
We are friends of the Queen.
King. And it almost like kind of sort of fades back for a second, and then kings longer know them.
The church that you inhabit currently opposes the current queen, and we seek to help her against them.
And for a second, it actually just kind of like pops into reality, and there's just this like energy that and then it's almost like kind of pulled back. It goes, church, the priest came down here in her heart, murder, death, destruction, felt it. And like as it's happening, the actual like words themselves are almost like heading down both of those long diagonal hallways.
I'm sorry to hear that, oh ancient one. That does not sound like a fun time. Is there anything we can do to assist you?
And it appears back in front of you. Barely seen the mountain ranges have raised since eyes.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I haven't seen any mountain raisings either.
It's been a while since we've had a good old mountain raising.
There's a point where it just goes, came down, and it's almost like, so the thing is, like, what you're seeing with Samantha, it's being held back by the spells and such that were placed upon it. What might be useful is to actually like kind of magically poke a hole in the basically the fabric between uh, this world and what essentially is like the hedge, the world of the Fae.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could like metaphorically smudge the salt line.
Yeah, and I believe diamonds is what you have most of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the diamonds is the one the guy that deals with magic. That'll be suited.
Very oops, did I do that?
And what kind of difficulty am I looking at here, roughly?
To be honest, you do not know. This is one where at some point you're gonna have to guess. And the thing is, the nice thing is there's no one down here to like make suspicions.
Did our stealth level go from 5 to 6?
It's 6 in here. It would be
Alright,
5,
so
but then you've added the.
I would have had that in my hand. Okay. Oh, if it's actually 5, I don't have this because I don't have my king anymore.
Oh, okay. With 9.
Yep, 9.
As you start to like, as you see Samantha start to like actually kind of like bring the things together, like with hand motions and start saying things. The Jenny itself just becomes clearer and more solid in front of you. And there's a moment where she actually steps out and her foot touches the ground, and very softly, like the kind of thing that only a thief's gonna. You hear the foot touch onto the ground, and then next, as she now appears in front of you, relatively solid, though momentarily there's like just parts of her that seem to almost like pull back. This is one of the things, Samantha, where it's a little hard to keep her, but you have kind of pierced the veil. This isn't something you do long term, but you can do short term.
What is your name, sister?
I am the Janae of this. This place was once known as she says a word in a language you've never heard before. In a language that almost feels like it'd be difficult for human tongues to speak well. This is one of those things that definitely. Anybody have Arcana except for Samantha? The most difficult spells, Samantha, are actually still in the language of the Fae.
Okay.
And a lot of people have mixed ideas of whether the Fae actually exist or not. But like a good deal of the magic that you rely on, at least at its base, whether you believe it or not, tells you that Fae exist. Language that is very difficult to speak well. That essentially the highest of the different orders are able to say. Because magic here is not like D&D magic, not like throw a fireball kind of thing. It's much more subtle, but she's speaking sort of the language of the highest magic. And the most recent, this word sort of appears, says, of this place. Left it here. Heads up. Heads up to here. And like as you kind of go through, there's all of these crypts. And there's just tons of it's one of those things where they're stacked like 5 or 6 high, where there's like a small place for a crypt to go, and then one up above it, and one up above it, and one up above it. I don't know if you ever seen the catacombs of Paris. In Paris, it has all the like at certain places the skeletons actually decorate.
Yeah.
The sides of it. Like there's parts of it here where over the hundreds of years, the different priests and other people, and other great ancestors they've left here, some of them actually decorate the walls themselves. You see bones there. As she goes through and leads you through several of the stacks of these things and to a specific one. Points. Here. Here is where she hid her secret. Here is where she hid that which your heart feels.
Thank you.
Y'all do.
Are there any names on the like?
It is essentially it's one of the ancient ancestors. As you look at it, there's depending on who your family believes is one of your ancestors. Like these are the heroic ancestors that a lot of people eventually. But there's also a whole bunch of priests that you recognize. And there's one of them. Actually, I say Samantha's probably the one that knows this. The high priest 6 or 7 high priests ago is actually the within the bones of that one is where that is held. And that particular priest was known because what they did is they actually turned against the current king and caused a revolution. From the previous priest's bones who caused a revolution, this is where Raviana has hid. And as you look through these, like, really take a quick look through all these documents, you are looking at nobility at the highest level. The people whose names are on here and the seals are on here and who have spoken, who have done correspondences with Raviana, include some of the queen's highest advisors and ones who are all close to the king.
Well, she certainly has a knack for She certainly has a sense of poetry. Now, just for as a point of order, I'm double checking the eavesdrop that I got from Raviana's chambers.
Yep.
I have my own letters with the members of the nobility.
Yep, that's what you're looking at right now.
Right. We have people we can throw the blame on.
Oh yeah, like basically this is one of those things where Raviana was very it's one of those things where code names and such are used. Particularly for Raviana, because it looks like they didn't believe they were necessarily dealing directly with her. She was smart enough not to put her name in any things. But instead, and this is one of those things that you all kind of talk a little, it's one of the other priests higher up, but someone who could be perhaps assassinated or given over to be killed. I mean, likely it's probably not going to make the actual. Her name does not appear directly. Like that she's worked through it.
Okay, so these people were very likely involved in the assassination attempt. They're not being framed. However, they didn't think Raviana was.
Yeah, the information you have, they are most definitely not. Like there is not a doubt in your.
But we don't really have anything incriminating for Raviana, right?
Not for Raviana herself, but you have a ton of like on some of the queen's closest advisors. Definitely have a whole lot of stuff on. You also have the information on where Rhys, her younger brother, who most of the royalty thought should have become king because she was royally born, as opposed to Eleanor, who was daughter of a commoner.
And we also have the ramblings, the justifications from the senior priest, whom I stole off his desk. So that will probably put dirt on the current priests of the church, if nothing else.
Like Raviana might be able to talk her way out of this, but honestly, if you show up, if someone was told this stuff and given the information, like it's not a long. You have to connect a lot of dots. So she was.
Between my 1 point in politics and Samantha's 1 point in politics and Twyla's 2 points in politics, between the 4 points of politics among the three of us, do we know someone in the crown who is not named in these letters?
Oh yeah,
who could receive him?
Yeah, I will say this, Twyla. You definitely know. Okay, like here are the people who are involved. This person and this person and this person and this person. Like you have what 2 points in politics? You keep track enough that you sort of know who Eleanor has as her various advisors and other things. There are some people, like, the funny thing is, the people who are not listed here were close to the king, but at least some of them. The ones who were close to the king were actually, like, friends with the king. They were ones who were known to have actually, like, when he was younger, hung out. Like, there's a certain group you knew that had been friends and known him and been close to him while he had married when he married the commoner mother of Eleanor. The other ones tended to come through later, and they were the ones that were not close to him in a they came close to him in a political sense because they were important. You're like, yeah, these are the ones who knew Eleanor's mother, and probably, to be honest, the ones who were not listed on here. There's a couple of them. You're like, they probably see Eleanor almost like a niece,
Right.
it's that like my friends' kids are like I feel like an uncle, that sort of thing. The ones who came after were not close to the original one. Seem to be the ones that show those who thought never married.
All right.
So the named conspirators are the people who were close to the king when Reese was in contention, and the people who are emphatically not named are the people who were close to the king back when
Yeah.
her current majesty was growing up.
Yeah, like they're probably the ones that literally have known her since, or at least like even if they have passed on, their children were probably raised half and half with her.
Yeah, heart the Dishonored vibe I'm getting here.
Yeah, in some respects, except we have better stealth than them. Yes. I've been playing through Dishonored 2, and I'm like, parts of it I like.
It's amazing how much you can break the game when you can teleport short distances.
Well, I mean,
Funny that.
It counts on you being above people, and it counts on you looking through. Yeah, it is that sort of idea where a lot of people that are mentioned are ones who probably have known her entire life, and whose kids, if they're the ones who are only still alive, have probably been. Now, granted, there's others who also weren't, but like, there's definitely like a cadre that Twylla, you're able to go, yeah, blah 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 blah. They are not mentioned, and they were like the best friends of the king for forever.
So we may want to all of our make sure that all of our research gets in the hands of somebody who will know what to do with it. And then
Preferably the queen herself, right? Like,
and then the exiled prince is currently in Cutthroat Alley, hidden under a tavern somewhere.
I think that was the sentiment.
It might be the tavern. Then there's several places that the prince there could be held, but the prince is probably somewhere there in Cutthroat Alley. And the prince is in many ways pretty estranged from his, because he was not happy. Because he was raised believing he was going to be the next king, and everybody was shocked when he actually he said before he died that Eleanor would become, like, the amount of people who had set up their future power based on the brother. Eleanor had actually been raised in some respects. She was the princess who could go out among the people because she was never going to be queen as far as anyone was concerned. So a lot of people actually know her and really. She is popular. She's a fairly popular queen, compared to the brother who kind of raised him. He was.
If the jackdaws are, at the moment, it will look to Her Majesty's supporters as if the jackdaws are hiding a usurper. So I don't think it is safe for us to call the might of the crown down on Cutthroat Alley, because there will be blowback on the jackdaws. However, what was the name of the leader of the jackdaws whom we trusted?
Yep. Leader of the jackdaws was I don't know where I put that. I have to look through my notes because I don't have a single sheet that kind of goes over them. But the leader of the Jackdaws is who is someone who has been arrested, because you have. Yeah, because it looks like Wiggins is probably going to be taking over, and I have forgotten her name of the one who's. But like, yeah, there's the leader the person who's been leading the Jackdaw. I have to look through find out exactly where it was. I have not yet made an master NPC.
Okay, so what I'm running by Twylla here for sanity checking is that if there are still members of the Jackdaws whom we can trust, who are high ranking, who have stayed out of shackles, we can tell them that Wiggins is betraying the Jackdaws and is supporting a conspiracy with his properties in Cutthroat Alley, and that might get us some leverage from the Jackdaws to crack his defenses open.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. It also might be good if we can get the will of the people behind us too. I mean, it currently looks like we are not friends of the queen in that regard, but some extra support never hurts. So if there was a way that we could sway the people, that would be good too.
Is there any way we can get the rumor mill running overnight that the Church of the Ancestors is plotting against Her Majesty?
It'll be difficult to get it going overnight quick enough to actually make a difference. However, if you do know where the heir is, they need the heir to kind of finish this. You could let people know. It's just not necessarily in one night making enough of a difference to have people. We're going to do something about it. Probably not.
Right. I'm just thinking from the very localized sense of, is there any disorder we can inject into Cutthroat Alley that will make our next target easier?
Oh yeah.
Like, can we
we
piss people off in Cutthroat Alley or something?
If you let people know that essentially someone super well known is there, like, you could have people much more curious about what's happening.
I think that would be a good thing for us. That way we're not the only ones looking.
Which I am thinking. So, I think here at this point, are you all at this point like take your leave of the church? Okay.
Yeah, I think we got what we need.
So I would ask all of you if before we do you're like and we're gonna fast forward in some respect. Your thing as far as putting money, which we'll talk about in a moment, and then like stuff. Now for May, on Tuesday nights I'm running Usagi Yojimbo.
Ooh.
Is there a night that works? Or that didn't even be a night, rather night or a day, because like I'm at the point where unless stand up opens up again, I am relatively free except for Monday mornings, Tuesday mornings, and Thursday mornings. And Paul is also not available Mondays and Thursdays. We're playing Blades at that point. Is there a time that works for people? Do we want to, or do we want to like wait like a month and pick back up on Tuesdays and?
My schedule's Mondays and Thursdays are tricky for me, but my schedule's otherwise open.